You gonna fire a guy with a disability?
Yeah, right.
You wouldn't hit a guy with glasses, would
Would
you?
ya? I'll have an employment lawyer in here so fast.
Right.
Well, let's get this party started. Hello and welcome to Basements, Faults, and Catapults. I'm one of your hosts, Aaron.
And I'm Trevor.
And here we're going to be looking at games, genres, and the things that we generally enjoy in gaming.
And to do that, we're probably going to be randomly selecting a genre each episode.
And we'll probably give a brief rundown of that genre.
Well, that is the format. And then we'll select two games. One of those games will be the absolute best by our standards.
Yeah, that's important.
Well, the other, for whatever reason, is kind of terrible.
Yeah, not great.
The catch and what we hope will be the fun part is that neither of us will have played either the games, or at least not heavily played those titles.
Yeah, and then we're going to take those titles, the best and the worst, and we'll divide it up. We'll give it an hour of playtime. We'll meet back up and chat about our experiences.
Where we'll give our opinions on the other's selections, celebrate where we agree, and refrain from murdering each other where we disagree. After all, not everyone can have a perfect opinion.
And that's it. We hope that you'll join us, listen in, maybe be inspired to try a few titles along the way, or let us know exactly why our opinions are trash.
Thank you for joining us, and remember, pistachios are not technically a nut?
That is true. They are a seed.
Fair enough.
All right, and as per usual, if you're new to us, we have a Excel document here that Trevor has spent minutes slaving away to create a random
I spent
generator.
quality minutes building
Well,
this.
listen, I'm not denigrating the minutes. I'm just being specific here. But yeah, we have a random number generator here, and on that are a few genres that we have selected. Of course, we're always adding to these genres and other sort of fun ideas. If you have any suggestions, write in, please. We'd love to hear from you. And Trevor, why don't you give us a quick, brief rundown of some of the big genres that you can see right off the top of your head?
Yeah, so the biggest genres that everybody's kind of into these days, we've got our JRPGs, we've got Metroidvanias, we've got horror games, tower defense, city builders. You know, Cities Skylines 2 has been my latest addiction.
Oh God, don't get me started on. Don't get me started.
We've got adventure, survival. We just recently did shooters and 1980s. So it could land on just about anything. We've got about 35 total genres that have been added so far.
Oh yeah, we have a lot more than what we've just mentioned, but in the interests of time and our sanity, we're not going to list all of them out for you.
I mean, I'm sorry, Aaron, but I think our sanity is already far from compromised.
As long as we don't triple roll anime, I'll be a-okay.
Right? Yeah, if we double roll anime, I think we're going to have to at least look at some of the titles and make fun of some of the names. Yeah.
At least, yeah.
All right, so I have a question for you, Aaron.
Oh?
Which genre do you have a hankering for conquering today?
Well, seeing as how it's my turn to get the really shite game, I'm hoping against hope that we just get like a nice little, city builder, a sandbox game, something where it's like, even if it's bad, it's not the worst. I would die if we got like a role-playing game that's bad, or a horror game that's bad. The Souls-like, when those goes bad, they go bad,
Yeah, we have to be careful too, because personal opinion might play into this a bit. I mean, if there's a lot of games, and I'm going to probably get shamed for saying this, but there's a lot of games like Elden Ring that I enjoyed it for about 20 hours, but I actually don't think it's a very good game.
You see, I bounced off of the entire Souls genre,
right.
And that has more to do with the fact that I'm not interested in being punished when I play a game. And for some people, they love that grind, and more power to you. But I'm just here to turn off my brain and have a good story,
Right. Well, my personal preference is story-driven games. So I don't think, did I do story-driven on here as a genre? I don't think I did. But, the point and clicks are very story-driven. Adventures are very story-driven, like a Horizon Zero Dawn.
Oh, I loved the Zero Dawn series. Have you played Forbidden West yet?
Not yet. Oh. Not yet. But it is, I have to beat Zero Dawn first before I buy Forbidden West.
Well, I will say this. The expansion for Zero Dawn, or for Forbidden West, which I think was the Eastern Shores, I forget. But one of the better expansions I played in a very long time.
Very cool.
Yeah, and I've been playing a lot of Cyberpunk lately, too.
Oh, yeah, you're back in the Cyberpunk?
I'm back.
Johnny Silverhand.
Johnny Silverhand, you gunk.
Right.
I'm back on that.
I love it. I love it. So, yeah, let's roll the dice and see what we get.
What are you kind of hoping for?
You know, I think
because it's your turn to get the good one.
Yeah, you know, I've been playing a lot of City Skylines too, as I mentioned.
Yeah.
I think that. You know, I wouldn't mind going for some automation. You know, if we were to hit something, you know, like the Factorios, the
Satisfactories, yeah.
Cubit Factorium, you know, those other games. That, yeah. So, yeah, I guess, you know, without further ado, we'll roll the dice and see what we end up with. So we have real-time strategy.
RTSs. Oh, man.
All right.
It's mother's milk. I grew up on these.
Our other two, you know, we've got the kind of the slot machine look to this. So the other two were 0 hour Steam time and Everything is Terrible.
I don't want Everything is Terrible.
Everything is Terrible is where we both have to take a horrible game.
We'll literally just hop on like Metacritic or an aggregate site like that, and we'll find the absolute worst.
So RTS, let's see. So you're playing, oh yeah, because you made me play E.T. last time.
I did make you play E.T.
Yeah.
Listen, we can talk about this.
Oh,
we can still make this work.
I mean,
I swear.
You know, I only have one final thing to say about E.T., and that's ouch.
No.
Right? All right, so I'm going to load up Steam.
All right.
And let's take a look-see in our libraries and see what we have for real-time strategy.
I already know what RTS I'm going to make you play. And it's a weird title, and it's one of my favorite titles. I'm not sure a lot of people have played it. But it's from the old Sierra days.
Ah, Sierra. I love Sierra. So unfortunately, all the games in my Steam library that fall under real-time strategy are good. So I'm going to have to go for looking for a bad one for you.
Okay, well, I am just trying to get Good Old Games up and running here. Because Good Old Games does not put any of their items with DRM support, you can essentially share CDs with friends. So once I get this up and running, I'm going to introduce you to a little title called Outpost 2.
Outpost 2, okay, cool. I like it. I really wish that there was a way to rate these in reverse order on Steam, where you could say, like, show me the worst games on Steam.
Yeah, please.
I don't, again, functionally no one else is doing that but us.
Yeah, right. Well, no, I'm sure there's other content creators out there who are like, I played the worst insert title here, so
Right.
you didn't have to.
One can only hope.
One can only hope. You know, I just have to remember, even a bad RTS is still an RTS, you know?
Yes. Did you ever play, I mean, this isn't RTS, but did you ever play Die by the Sword?
Die by the Sword. I don't even know the concept of Die by the Sword.
Die by the Sword was a game where it was kind of like I don't want to call it Skyrim-like, but it was kind of like a first attempt at 3D kind of dungeon crawler, but more like the game style of Skyrim. And you'd have the physics were really weird. Like you would swing your arm around with the mouse instead of like actually animations. And you would like have a sword and you'd swing it and you'd chop off a goblin's like head or arm, and then you could pick up the goblin's arm and like beat other goblins with it, or you could put its head your hand into its head and like move it around like a puppet.
What?
Yeah, Die by the Sword, and it's like the crappiest game ever made, but it's
because having to use the mouse and swiping it to do a sword attack, that was early Elder Scrolls.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, oh god, the one where you're trying to escape the labyrinth.
Oblivion?
No,
this
was we're talking
like before Morrowind.
Yeah, we're talking the MS DOS was still a viable operating system.
I probably didn't play it.
No, well, you didn't miss much, but it would be, you had to, like, for an attack, you would left click and then swing your mouse.
Fair enough. So this is an RTS. I think I have a winner. All right. So some of the reviews on this are kind of talking about a mobile port spreadsheet game. Click the node, grind away for more currency. Rinse and repeat. Early 2000 style Facebook type game. If I'd like to get you to play some stuff on my Steam library, but so far I've only got good games in my Steam library. In the
I only play good games. This is the problem.
I'm a good game snob. I only like to spend money on good games.
Weird. What? I just don't. I get it, and if I'm not enjoying a game, I'm not gonna play it. But I have what I guess could only be described as a fetish for terrible movies.
Oh, yes.
I adore bad movies.
What's your favorite bad movie?
Oh God, it changes.
Yeah.
But like, I'll always go back to one of the first, like, I guess what sparked this was a really shitty horror film called Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving. It's about a evil spirit that takes the form of a talking turkey, and of course it's been summoned by the old building. Oh no, this one was specifically summoned by a Native American shaman to punish the Protestant settlers. It's just it's so bad. I cannot recommend it to anyone unless you like really bad movies, in which case let me tell you.
I think there's a lot of people that would call anything with Bruce Campbell in it pretty terrible.
Yeah, but he's
I love everything that he does.
King of schlock. I love Bruce Campbell.
Army of Darkness is still one of my favorite movies.
Yeah,
of all time.
Army of Darkness. I first saw Army of Darkness. I saw the the UK edit.
Okay.
And you'd think, well, so what? Major changes. There's like 3 or 4 scenes where the dialogue has been completely rewritten. Like the classic, good, bad, I'm the guy with the gun, right?
Yeah.
It's good, bad, pew, I'm not so good. Because they couldn't say gun on the BBC.
Oh, interesting.
All right? Or for whatever reason.
I don't know. Calling the BBC is, since the days of the internet, is probably not a great idea.
Yeah.
Maybe they should change.
Yeah, we're talking Doctor Who BBC, not.
Yeah.
Moving along.
Yeah. If you all I'm saying is if you Google BBC documentary, you're probably gonna have a bad time.
Leave safe search on and you'll be okay.
Right.
All right.
So real-time strategy. What would you say are your top 3 favorite real-time strategy games?
Ooh, top 3. Outpost 2, Dune 2000, Command and Conquer Red Alert 2.
Oh, all good choices.
Boom, done.
For me, I would have to say it's Total Annihilation.
Okay.
Supreme Commander.
I was... Trevor! That was going to be my... But I have 4.
Oh, you have 4.
But yeah, Supreme Commander.
Total Annihilation, and then like the spiritual successor of that was Supreme Commander. So they're basically like clones of each other.
Yeah, did you used to write mods for
Total Annihilation? Yeah, from Cave Dog Entertainment. And then Supreme Commander kind of really felt like that spiritual successor of Total Annihilation. And then if I had to pick another one, I'd have to say the Stronghold series. Oh, I really enjoyed the Stronghold series.
Stronghold was a lot of fun. I still remember the campaign, and I just getting so frustrated by like the third campaign. You'd be like, okay, I get it. I'm a castle lord. Let me build everything. Instead, because the campaign drip feeds you, right? Like, they don't want to give you everything right off the hop.
Yeah, I just remember it always being like, your people are starving, my lord.
Your people are starving, my lord. Yeah.
And I'm like, and they can suffer because I'm the king, but
the taxes are too high.
Yeah, actually, I used to play a lot of those games, Lords of the Realm and
Lords of the Realm 2 was the one I played.
Yeah, and I used to play a lot of those with friends as often as possible. So yeah, I've always loved the castle builder. I played a ton of StarCraft. But those are my top 3 for sure. Yeah.
StarCraft. I still remember StarCraft, BattleNet Lobby, fastest map ever, 3v3, all the comps on easy.
Yeah.
Comp stomp, let's go.
My honorable mention though, I'd have to throw in there is Star Trek Armada 2. I'm a big Trekkie.
That's if you were to pull up my good old games account, they were having this massive sell on the Star Trek franchise.
Yep.
So I got Armada 2, Fleet Academy 3. What was the other one that I picked up and was like, why wouldn't I? Oh, Elite Force.
Elite Force, yes, the Voyager one.
Yeah.
That was a first-person shooter.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
It was actually a really good FPS. It was by Raven Software before they got sent to the COD mines.
Yeah, love it. So the game I've selected for you today is called War for Galaxy.
War for Galaxy.
War for
It is
Galaxy.
early access. This does not make me feel good.
This is early access game, 14 mostly negative reviews.
Only 40?
Only 14. And it
how
says,
many?
become the ruler of the entire galaxy, colonize planets, extract resources.
Now, is this an RTS or a 4X?
So this is, it's claiming itself to be an RTX. It's considering itself a simulation strategy space sim RTS 3D. So it's trying to be a lot of things.
Say that's exciting. It's free.
It's free.
Listen. Yeah. What is this noise? In-game chat update. They just added chat. Sorry.
Right, and it says cross-platform multiplayer. Very quick skim of the reviews says that it's basically a mobile game that they tried porting over to PC. Pretty much nobody, nobody likes it. Any of the positive reviews, one of them just says, okay.
Hold on. It says I need a third-party account with Telegram.
What? Does it?
The Russian social media website.
Where does it say that?
Under, is this game relevant to you? It'll say requires third-party account.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Yes, requires you must set up third-party Telegram account. Do you want to create a burner account?
Yeah, I'm creating
All right.
a burner account. Are you kidding
Create
me?
a burner account. Make your username burner account.
Yeah, Telegram.
Yeah, burner account 007.
Burner account.
We'll share the password at the end of this, so you can all have access to this Russian Telegram account.
Log into Telegram by QR code.
You know, it's funny. I kind of just felt the Russian accent flowing through me.
I have a soft spot for Slavic Jank. I've played way too much of Stalker called Chernobyl.
Yeah.
And it's just there's a joy to Slavic Jank, and I feel like a lot of more polished website or games lack it. At the same time, I'm not going to forgive trash.
Yeah, it's funny though because so Russian hackers. I had seen a couple of years ago a lot of different attacks on my firewall here at home, all kind of sourcing out of Russia. So what I did was I basically blocked the entirety of Russia's internet and subnets.
Oh, so you're saying you pulled a NATO before NATO?
Oh yeah, so I blocked all of Russia. Actually, I had blocked all of China at one point as well. And it was just because I was getting a lot of weird traffic coming from those locales, and right now none of those are blocked. I was doing it kind of an experiment. But the odd thing is, I blocked Russia. Guess what game stopped working that I could no longer play when I blocked Russia?
You blocked Russia game, tank.
VR chat.
VR chat.
VR chat, and it's funny because all of VR chat servers say that they're local. But as soon as I blocked Russia, I couldn't access any of their servers anymore. Very odd. So there's some kind of intermediary with VR chat that's flowing through Russia, which I found was rather interesting.
That is interesting.
We live in the World Wide Web. It's worldwide for a reason.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought of War for Galaxy, and I immediately remembered one of the clips that I saw from Tim Curry when he did the Command of yeah, where he's like, we are going to the only place untouched by American capitalism, and he does this facial expression with his faces twitching.
He apparently, and this is a true story from what I can be aware of, could not do that take seriously.
Oh, I don't know how you could.
He broke into laughter every time. And that was the best take.
You know what? I love Tim Curry. Big fan.
He really put it out there when he did I'll forgive him everything for 2 movies, and that is Muppet Treasure Island.
Yep.
And Rocky Horror.
Definitely.
He can do no wrong.
Yeah.
Well, he can do some wrong.
I loved him as It.
He will. It? Oh,
as
yeah,
Pennywise the
Pennywise.
Clown.
He apparently actually was afraid of clowns.
And I loved him in one of the first movies I saw with, I believe, Tom Cruise when he was just a young lad. called Legend.
Oh, Legend. Yeah, he was the devil.
He played Satan.
Yeah,
he played the devil. And that was like the most terror. I mean, I was like 6 years old.
Oh, Legend.
When that came out.
Well, a legend.
A legend.
Yeah.
But Tim Curry was like terrifying as Satan when I was 6 years old. Just the way they did the makeup and his presence.
Yeah,
right?
Tim Curry had such presence. And it's unfortunate, that his health hasn't been very good. Because, God, I would still watch his movies. I would still watch, because he had such presence on stage.
Last I read, he's still doing cons and stuff. Like he's
still making
he's very very unhealthy, but he's still out there giving love to fans and
and bless the man.
Bless the man. I love the guy. All right, man. So you're gonna give it some War for Galaxy.
I literally started the game and it was like, "Are you a new player?" And I said yes, and it threw me right into this like Unity asset ripped command screen.
Oh no.
I'm
Nice. You're stoked?
I'm stoked.
You're stoked. But you know what? I'm going to wager a guess.
Okay.
It's probably better than E.T.
You know what? Confession, if you didn't catch our last episode, which I recommend you do, it was Trevor's turn to get the really bad game. And I gave him E.T. because the theme we had rolled was 1980s games.
Right.
And E.T. was so bad, it crashed the game economy for the time. And Trevor, bless him, got through 15 minutes of it.
Hey, Aaron.
Yeah.
What do you think E.T. stands for?
Oh, pull my finger.
Extra testicle. All right. Well, let's get into some gaming.
Do it. And good luck. Have fun. Outpost 2 is one of my favorite RTS titles, so I really hope you enjoy it.
You know, I don't have it in my game library, but the intro here sounds familiar. I might have played this in like a long age ago at some point, maybe on a demo or something.
Well, you'll know. Okay, here we go. I'm starting my tutorial.
Good luck, don't die.
Good luck, don't die. I'm probably gonna die.
Hooah!
Woof.
All right.
All right. Well, I suppose now it's time for thoughts.
Thoughts, yes.
You go first, because I'm generally curious.
All right. Well, okay, so initial impressions, I was like, hey, I've played this before. I know I have. And I absolutely know that I've tried that game before. I can also tell you that I'm pretty certain I never played past trying to figure out how to play before I gave up and stopped playing. And that would be me like 1998 kind of era.
Fair.
But yeah, so went through, kind of got a handle on it. You showed me a couple things, which was really helpful. My initial impression was, hey, this is definitely an old game. So keeping that in mind, the RTS elements of it are very much like when did Command & Conquer come out? The very first Command & Conquer. It was probably around the same time. 1995, yeah. So this kind of gives me a little bit of the Command & Conquer feel. And the graphics are definitely showing their signs of the times, But overall, once I got into it, I started really enjoying the RTS elements. So building your base. The first mission was really hard. Grab your guys, escape. I couldn't quite figure out which units were guys or what kind of units they were. And like when I started a game, I kind of want to feel it out. So I was kind of going, well, what is this? What is that? What is this? What is that? By the time I was like, okay, now I know what everything is, it was like, and you're dead. So, I had to play through the first level twice, the second level twice. But then I've kind of got the hang of it now. And I kind of know what the different units do and what the different buildings do. You showed me how to automate the mining, which was cool. I'd say my old eyes are definitely not tuned to a game that's used to running in probably 480p.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so...
this is back when it was like 720 by 480, right?
Oh my gosh, yeah. Like, I was saying, we probably played this game on like a 13 or a 15-inch monitor, CRT monitor.
Oh, easily.
So for me, yeah, I'll be honest with you, I'm kind of feeling like the RTS adrenaline where I'm like, yeah, I'm getting it, I'm clicking, I'm trying to do this in a quick succession, moving from one kind of planned activity to another, build the ore, get the ore, build the complex, build the vehicle factory, pump out a bunch of units. And so, yeah, I mean, it didn't feel like an hour because I started getting into the groove.
Yeah,
started
and
getting
then
into that
before you
flow.
know it, it's 4 a.m. and you're like, oh, shh.
Yeah, this is definitely one of those games where I could see the learning curve is fairly steep at the start, but once you kind of get the momentum going, you just want to keep it going. You don't want to stop. So yeah, I agree. You could play this game till 2 in the morning, 4 in the morning, and you'd just be like, oh, I lost all track of time.
Oops.
Yeah. So yeah, I would say it is relatively good. I think as far as an early RTS, on par with a Command and Conquer, with like I would say very reminiscent of like a Dune 2000 kind of thing. But it seems to be trying to give you kind of some semblance of story progression. I like how they organize the mission objectives, how they're kind of telling you a little bit of a story of you're trying to escape this plague, and it kind of every mission gives you a little rundown of where you're coming from and where you're trying to go, and kind of gives you a little bit of skin in the game as far as, hey, you're trying to save these colonists. You're trying to get them to be able to rebuild and survive this giant plague that's kind of upon their planet. So no, I liked it. First impressions, great. I enjoyed it. I think that it's an RTS that, if it hadn't existed, probably we wouldn't be having some of the same mechanics in games that we have today. And you say the same thing about any early RTS, but it still feels like a StarCraft. It still feels like it's just, obviously they've taken a lot more time to flesh out graphics and gameplay and UIs. The UI is pretty good as far as UIs of its time. Kind of bringing me back to looking at, where load and O is highlighted so that you know to press O. They tried to be as intuitive as they could for the time.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I think, yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I'm very stoked to hear that. This is one of the RTSs that I sort of grew up playing, and I still go back to it. For me, what really got me is in Command and Conquer and those. It's a very frantic gameplay because you're always being attacked, you're always attacking. Whereas Outpost 2 was more dreaded because like, when is the eruption? When is the plague gonna come? I gotta hurry, right?
Yeah, there's no like countdown.
Yeah, right.
So
it just happens.
You don't know what to expect. You don't know, like, oh, like that's what happened to me after the first level. I get into the second level and I'm like, okay, I'm kind of chill now. Now I can build my base. Then it's like, oh, the plague is coming, and I'm like, I am not prepared.
I'm not ready. Yeah.
I was kind of relaxing, and for me, I am a casual gamer. I do enjoy the casual game where you can get in, get out, kind of relax. If there was a game called like Walk in the Park Simulator, I'd probably play it, right? Power Wash Simulator.
Oh, love me a good Power Wash
right?
Simulator.
You sit there spraying, cleaning things, That's kind of my style after a long day at work, And
I can get behind that.
So this is not a after a long day of work game.
No.
This is I want a challenge. I want to feel a little pressure. I want a little bit of adrenaline. I want to go out. And for a game from 1997 to make me feel that way now in 2024 is, I think that's a huge win.
Yeah, no, and like I said, I'm heavily biased about this game, so like, I'm not going to be able to disagree with anything that you said.
What would you have felt if I said, this game's the worst RTS game I've ever played in my life?
I would be wondering if we have a future together, Trevor. No, absolutely not. Everyone's, like I said, not everybody can have a perfect opinion. This is just be one of those moments. But like, I could understand where you'd be coming from. Like, it's not really, it's hard to get into because that first level, right? If you didn't play the tutorials, good luck.
Right. And you know what? Right? I'm thinking there might be some people listening going, these two seem to have a lot of confirmation bias that supports each other's like for the different games and types of games. So just to kind of clear the air on confirmation bias being a problem for us, what's your favorite color?
Navy black, like navy blue.
Okay, so Unfortunately, I was going to kind of go with blue as well, but I have to say that I am becoming quite the fan of yellow.
Yellow.
Yeah, I had a car in yellow for a while.
The garbage color.
It is a garbage color. Yeah,
Yellow.
Yeah, but
well, lemons are yellow. I like lemons.
I'd say, and this is probably due to nostalgia, but orange.
I mean, it's not my favorite color.
Right. But when I do buy things, they tend to be blue.
Yeah, no, see, I like that navy blue, that blue so dark it's almost black.
I like it.
That's my blue.
So we have an approximated confirmation bias. Yeah. So do you have a favorite number?
Yes.
Okay. My favorite number is 3.
32.
Okay. So we do have some differences.
Okay.
Favorite food?
Tortilla.
Okay. For me, it used to be pizza, and I like it gives me too much heartburn.
Oh,
so
pizza's so good though.
know.
It's like you can do something different than every day.
Right.
You know.
But now it's ice cream. So
ice cream's solid. Like who can be mad at ice cream? It's not my favorite, but like who can be mad at ice cream?
So there you have it. We don't agree on everything. We don't agree on everything.
We will agree, however, that War for Galaxy was bad.
Well, tell me a little bit about War for Galaxy.
What is there to tell? We spent an hour playing, and in that hour, you successfully beat, what, 2 campaigns and started the 3rd?
2.5, yeah.
Yeah. I got a level 5 silicon mine.
Yeah. Okay. Did you have any battles? Was there any war, or was it more for Galaxy?
It was more like for Galaxy. Like, I guess there's like an end game that people are really into, Alt 6 in the chat, but to get there requires such a slog, such a grind that it's not even fun. The concepts were very boring. They were uninspired. They didn't do anything new. Graphics was nice. Like it was a Unity game with really nice 3D models. And not even like really nice 3D models, just like I could see the microtransaction loop. And for me, if your game has a microtransaction loop as the main gameplay mechanic, I want nothing to do with your game.
Yeah, I agree. I'm immediately out. If there's like microtransactions are an important part of this game, I'm like, well then I will not partake.
I'm obviously not an important part of the game. And that goes for everything. I still remember having such a disconnect with Dragon Age. If you remember Dragon Age,
I do. Yes.
You had your little camp, and there was this one guy who was like, "Oh, Grey Warden, there's a quest that your previous master promised he'd complete," and you're like, "Yeah, let's do it." And it was like, "Okay, buy the expansion." And you're like, "Oh, oh, you had to."
Yeah. That's a bad mechanic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's like, but there's special armors, and you're like, so do I just give you my credit card, or like, what do we do here?
But since you mentioned Dragon Age,
ooh, Dragon Age.
Did you play it all the way through?
I have beaten Dragon Age 1, 2, and Inquisition.
So I've got to ask the question that must be asked.
Uh-oh.
Did you play a male character or a female character?
Male, and yes, I banged Morgan, and we had a little half demon baby.
Well, I mean, yes, you've got to go that route. But more importantly, did you romance Zevran?
Zevran.
That was the male elf
rogue. I did not.
Because you cannot get all the Steam achievement, or was it the achievements or whatever? Because it wasn't on Steam at the time.
Yeah.
But there was an achievement.
Xbox
that you could get.
achievements.
Yeah, there was an achievement for romancing all the characters.
Well, I have not 100%ed the game.
Yes. I have. I had to. I sat and I debated long time, and I was like,
all right, I'll do it.
I have to do it.
I have to do it.
For the completion.
I gotta get that.
I must do all the things.
I must get that 100%er.
Yes.
Hey, it's the same logic a lot of people are given when they romance the Mind Flayer in BG3.
Ah, yes. I have not gotten that far in BG3
Got 100% it.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like it.
All right, rankings, just because this is kind of what we do here.
Yes.
Why don't you give me your rankings for Outpost 2? I believe it's graphics, gameplay...
And fun.
Yeah.
And then we'll give it a general rating.
And then an overall.
So graphics. So like, based on, current day standards, like a 1 out of 10, obviously.
Yeah. Well,
right?
Yeah.
But if I look at the standards of the time, I'd probably would have to give it probably a 5 out of 10. I think we had better, and this may be me just remembering things incorrectly, but I feel like Command & Conquer was released in 95.
Yep.
This was released in 97, and I feel like the art assets for Command & Conquer were of higher caliber. Not by much, but I think
yeah, I would tend to agree with you. And if Command & Conquer wasn't better, Red Alert certainly was.
Absolutely.
And that was, again, the same time frame.
Yeah, exactly. So I think in comparison with the same games in its genre for graphics and art, I think it comes in just a little bit under kind of average for its time, which is not saying it's bad.
No.
It's just saying I think even Dune 2000, the contrast of the units versus the background was a lot easier to see and a lot easier to kind of discern what objects were what and where they were.
Yep.
I think that their choice of backgrounds and their choice of kind of play field and their graphical choices there made it really hard to make your eyes see the difference between units and the ground. And once you got it, you had it.
Yeah.
But initially, that point of entry, it was like, I don't know what's what, and I can't really tell if that's supposed to be grass or my little robot helper, right?
Yeah,
and
fair enough.
Yeah, so I think they could have done a little bit better in the graphics and art, even for its time. So I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10 for graphics and art. Gameplay, however,
that's a big one.
Yeah, so gameplay. So it was challenging to get into, but that's never a bad thing, right? You want to have some challenging gameplay. If you're playing an RTS and it's just like, and I'm gonna anger some people here. But if you're playing like the StarCraft 2 campaign, on like a regular, it's just too easy. You're just like, you do one, then you go to the next, then you go to the next, then you go to the next. And I think
you have any competitive multiplayer strategy in you, you know, you could beat a campaign.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if you've ever done multiplayer StarCraft 2, you know the single player campaign is going to be just a wipe. It's going to be super easy, not a challenge at all. I feel that games like this, because there's no multiplayer, it's all single player, they have to really challenge the person playing it and keep you interested. And I think the fact that I lost on the first level and lost on the second level before I finally passed means that it's not just a basic game that's easy to play. It's not meant for the casual RTS player. It's meant for more of an experienced RTS player. And that makes sense. Coming out after Command & Conquer, they go, let's build something that challenges the player. Yeah. So I think it really does well in that aspect. The only thing that made it hard was not really having a lot of information on how to play out of the gate. Now, I had you to help with that.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
if I hadn't had you to help with that, I think I probably wouldn't have continued playing like I somehow feel like I remember doing back in 1998 or 1999.
Yeah, bounced out the first level, and that is a very common complaint for this game. So
yeah, so because of that, I'm going to give it a gameplay rating of 8 out of 10.
All right.
And
I'm not standing up out of my chair yet, but be aware I'm.
So gameplay 8 out of 10 for sure, and that's just for the challenge of point of entry.
Yep.
Other than that, I thought it was really great. Fun though. I know I only played for an hour, but I think that's the most fun I've had playing an RTS game in a very, very long time.
Really? Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah. I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10 for fun.
For fun?
I am. And amazing. So my overall rating, and I'm going to heavily lean into the fun on this rating because I feel like I actually want to keep playing it. When you were like, this hour is over, I was like, shut the hell up.
Shut up.
This hour is not over. You know, but no, so yeah, general rating, I'm going to give this game a solid 9 out of 10.
Hey, I'll take it. Honestly, I don't give this game higher than an 8 for my personal.
Really? Fair enough.
Like again, it's one of my favorite RTSs, and I have nothing but fond memories for it. But like, some of the later levels are a huge drag. The pacing is always a problem with an RTS game like this. So like, it can overstay its welcome.
Fair enough, and I can see that. I mean,
but like,
I think reviews change after you've played through the whole game. I think definitely, yeah, if there's a big schlag at the end of the game, I might reduce that to an 8 out of 10. But again, in context of the game being made in the 90s and comparing it against other games made in the 90s, it's pretty solid because I love Dune 2000, but it is a schlag of a game, and it is very hard to win. And I think that's kind of one of the main shining points of some of these older games is they are not easy to win. If you have the patience to go and play through one of these games, see it through to the end, it's going to be like feeling like you've achieved something. I mean, even though you just wasted your time playing video games for like 30 hours. But
listen, XCOM, the original XCOM, you would play for 3 hours just to find out you had an unwinnable seed.
Just
bad.
There is a game, UFO Afterlight.
Oh, I love UFO Afterlight.
Yeah.
So confirmation bias is not real.
Confirmation bias is not real. We do have differences of opinion. Disclaimer, read the small print.
Yeah, right.
But UFO Afterlight is one of those games that...
Did you ever play Cosmonaut?
Yes.
Or Xenonaut, sorry.
Cosmonaut and Xenonaut, yes. I don't have those in my library, though. I don't know if you can get those in your Steam library, but...
Xenonauts I know is on Good Old Games, for sure, but past that I couldn't tell you.
The UFO Afterlight is one of those games where you play it for like 2 or 3 hours and you get wiped. Like you you're like, I can never beat this game.
You didn't get the laser pistol upgrade at the right time, or any number of things can go wrong.
Yeah, but it is one of those games that, I mean, its categories, probably RTS. Yeah, tactical, real-time with pause strategy. So it is a real-time strategy game. I would say this is more real-time strategy than War for Galaxy.
Oh, God.
But UFO Afterlight is so hard. And I probably had to play it for a good 15, 20 hours before I finally beat it.
Yeah.
But it felt great to actually beat it. And there's a lot of stuff about the game that just made me so angry. Yeah. But I kept at it. And so, yeah, 9 out of 10... is what I'll rate it right now. Taking like if I'm comparing this against like StarCraft or Supreme Commander, yeah, it's like a 2 out of 10.
Yeah, no,
because it's not a good game by modern standards, but by standards of the games in its period, it's a good game. It's a good game. If you love a challenge and you're a bit of a masochist, give it a try.
Yeah. And you know we're trying our best to rate these things on the standards of their time, and we're not always going to nail that. So yeah, we're not claiming to be the be all end all, but we're trying our best here.
Give it its merits, and I also I do have a little bit of fear that Aaron might murder me. So if this is the last episode, there's a little murder bias in some of these ratings. Murder bias, yeah, because
he is staring at me.
I feel like the general rating, I could definitely give it an 8 out of 10. I feel like I wanted to give it a 9 out of 10 because I feel a rush right now. And that's why I rated it the way I did. I feel that rush of this game has grabbed my interest and made me want to keep playing it.
What's really funny about that is I used to be part of, do you remember GeoCities?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so there was a Yahoo GeoCities website specifically to keep Outpost 2 kind of going. And people would arrange like multiplayer matches and stuff like that. It was a lot.
I like it. So, back to War for Galaxy.
Oh, do we have to?
We have to. It is part of the format. So, graphics and art.
Graphics and art. It was a Unity game, so Unity assets can run the gamut from complete trash to really well done and really cohesive. And I feel like whoever they ripped these assets off of did a really good job. It's very nice. It looks cohesive. If the development team actually made these, I'd be shocked. But they spent the rubles to buy these assets, and they put them together in a well done manner. It's pretty. Especially if you remember that this is probably originally meant for a mobile market. For a mobile phone, it would be outstanding on a mobile device.
I actually, what made it catch my eye was the preview video that kind of, it's like, oh, look at all these cool 3D assets. Look at these cool ships. And I'm a big nut for space.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Space is good.
I love space. So, yeah, but, mostly negative.
Mostly negative, yeah. And if you click, my review's there now, too. But, so graphics-wise, yeah, it's pretty. It looks good. But At the end of the day.
Yeah. You know, I'm going to read your review if you don't mind.
Oh, go for it. It's public.
So Aaron says, this game bills itself as an RTS, but you'll mostly just be spending real time waiting around. Yeah, it's an RTW, real-time waiting.
Real-time waiting game.
I like it. Boring, uninspired, and full of microtransactions, not worth your time, energy, or interest. And, you know, I'd have to agree.
It was bad. The campaign,
Yes.
for what it was worth, they did have a tutorial campaign, and it just involved build this building, build this building, build this building, build this building, click this button to speed up this building. So very standard mobile fanfare. They introduce a premium currency. They give you some of it for free, not enough to do anything with it, but enough to like boost your building by a minute, boost your income by 10% or whatever, which very standard sort of predatory tactics on the mobile market. But story, I ask me tomorrow what that game was about, and I could not tell you.
Fair enough. So, graphics and art, out of 10.
I'm going to, you know, beautifully well done. I'm going to give it a solid 7.
I think that's fair. Gameplay overall, 7 out of 10. What are you thinking?
1.5.
You know what? I think that's generous.
For what it's worth, when you clicked on something, it did the thing it said it was going to do. It was very clear that you couldn't afford to do this, and that if you click this microtransaction button, you could afford to do it. Very clear there. What wasn't clear was what you did for you.
Give us your money. We want your American dollars.
Well, yeah,
we're Canadian. Oh, we don't want.
We don't want
your monopoly money.
Just convert to ruble first. But yeah, no, like it was my biggest achievement. I'd finally upgraded to a level 5 titanium mine, and I still don't know what that did. Like, it was level 5. What?
Yeah, what's the point of these level progressions
Like,
if you don't even know what it's for?
Even if they had just slapped in a little, this increases your titanium income by X number. That would have gotten them a 2.
So fun, general rating of fun. Did you have any fun playing that at all?
I had a lot of fun backseating you. I looked up Armin Shimmerman. I briefly forayed into Scarlett Johansson because I was trying to remember the movie she was in with, it was Woody Allen.
Oh, okay. yeah, Woody Allen.
So fun, 1.
1 out of 10. All
1
right.
out of 10, baby.
I'm sorry, man. I didn't.
Dude, I gave you ET. Like, there is nothing that you can do that would be worse than that.
It doesn't make me feel better because I actually enjoyed the hour playing the game that I was playing.
So. I enjoyed being here.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Warm and fuzzy all around.
And listen, this is the format. This is what we've decided to do. Believe you me, I'll get you back.
Oh, I know. So the general rating out of 10, you're gonna go with.
I'm gonna go. You know what? We're gonna spice it up.
Yeah.
I gave it a 1.5 for the highest and a 1 for the lowest. So
Okay.
the average of that would be what, 1.25?
We're gonna do a 1.25 out of 10. Okay, cool. We can do that. I think we make our own rating system.
Yeah.
We want to go in quarter increments.
3 flounders out of 1 mackerel.
Yes. I give it 4 Goldblums out of 4. Yeah. He's so creepy. I love
This would
it.
be 2 thumbs
Whenever
up.
I do my Jeff Goldblum impression, my wife, she's like, don't do that. That's creepy. That's so creepy. And I'm like,
But life finds a way. Okay, hey,
right.
we did it.
we did it. And so I just defaulted to no for your stamp of approval. Would that be an accurate assessment?
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. No.
All right. No.
How about
no,
you?
no.
I feel like it's a yes, but
Yeah, actually, Outpost 2, I would give my stamp of approval. I would do that, but I would caution that if you have never played an early RTS from the 90s...
a conditional stamp of approval.
Conditional stamp of approval. If you have in the past played 90s RTSs, it is absolutely a stamp of approval. It's a must play. I mean, it's a travel back in time and experience what gaming was in the 90s. If you have only ever played brand new RTS games, StarCraft 2, the Supreme Commander series,
really.
yeah, if you've played any really modern RTSs, or even 4X strategy games like Stellaris, you're probably going to have a bad time, and that's just me being honest.
Yeah,
I think
I feel that's fair.
I think that some of these older games pull on the nostalgia strings a little bit, but it is a piece of history. And just like we went to play a piece of something else with E.T., it is good to revisit some of these older games that ultimately were part of inspiring what gaming is today.
Yeah. And, as an aside, Sierra Entertainment's kind of a big name for us older gamers, especially if you're into the quests, so like King's Quest, Space Quest, Police Quest. All of those were developed by Sierra. So there's kind of like, oh yeah, I know this game. I know these people. I'm
going to ask a stupid question.
Go hard.
Is Sierra still in business today?
I don't believe so. I believe they got... They were absorbed by another company, and this was early 2000s. I don't know the exact date, but then they were also like they're gone. There's nothing left of them.
Yeah, they were. It looks like they were acquired and absorbed by Vivendi Games between 2004 and 2008. And then in 2008, Sierra Entertainment's parent company Vivendi merged with video game publisher Activision to form the Activision Blizzard Holding Company. They were absorbed into Activision after the merger, which basically means they fired all the staff and only kept the properties. Later that year, Sierra was closed down for possible future sale. Leading up to the merger, Activision's management was confident that Sierra would cease operations post-merger. And then they did. Unfortunately, the long-term strategy for Activision for Sierra was that was the end of Sierra, effectively. So yeah, Sierra was kind of toast at the end of 2009. Although
which makes sense because Evil Genius was something that Sierra did, and then Evil Genius 2 is not done by Sierra.
Yeah, it says that in there was some brand name revival under Activision 2014 to 2016. They tried to revive Sierra. Teasing a new logo and a new game at Gamescom 2014. They confirmed that they would re-release some of its older games, reimagine some of its older franchises, and collaborate with the indie studios to create new, innovative, edgy, and graphically unique projects. So, but nothing seems to have happened with that. In 2018, TJX companies.
Well, they made the Caesar games? I love the Caesar games. Sierra. No, what happened?
They acquired the domain Sierra.com from Activision. Yeah, but it looks like Sierra's been kind of like dead in the water since probably mid to late 2000s.
My heart she breaks.
Yeah.
Well. This is what life. This is things come, they go.
They do. Nothing lasts forever.
So enjoy the stuff you have now.
Exactly. All right. Well, hey, you know what?
Okay.
Speaking of things not lasting forever, I think that's a wrap.
I think you're right. This was the last of our little banter for this episode, and we appreciate, as always, you tuning in. Feel free to check out our older episodes. Stay tuned for our newer episodes, and as always, have fun gaming.
Thanks for watching. Good luck, have fun,
Take care.
Don't die.
Don't die. Bye.
Ciao.
And that's our time and the end of our episode.
But don't feel sad it's over. Be glad it happened. From the two of us in the basement, thanks for tuning in.
Join us next time.
And feel free to send us any feedback on our socials or send us a direct email at bfcpcontact@gmail.com.
And if you're really interested in what we're doing, join us on Patreon, where we will have loads of behind-the-scenes stuff and uncut takes as more episodes are released.
We're always excited to hear from you because we love engagement. We look forward to our next Catapult launch and hope you can join us for the ensuing chaos.
Good luck.
See you next time.
Hey, my mom's my biggest fan, and I take ruthless advantage of that.